Okay, so the final portion we're going to cover are how to solve inequalities with division symbols. So I know this looks a little intimidating, but I promise we will conquer this today. So a couple things we have to keep in mind are that fractions are division symbols. So fractions, they're the same thing as division. Fractions and division mean the same thing. So for example, when I have stuff like this, another way we could say that is 1 divided by 2. We pop that in the calculator, you get 0.5. Okay, these are just some examples, some little side notes we're going to create here. Another thing to keep in mind is when we solve equations or inequalities, we always do the opposite of what is happening to the x. So for example, again, this is just another little side note. If we have x plus 4 is less than 2, I'm sorry, that's greater than, x plus 4 is greater than 2, to get x alone, we do the opposite of plus 4 and we subtract 4 from both sides there. And then we get our answer of -2. But the point is we do the opposite. We had an addition sign, so we did a minus sign. So when we solve our division problems, we have to think of these fractions as divisions. So in order to get rid of division, we do the opposite of division, which is going to be multiply. Okay, let me go ahead and copy this problem down here and then we'll start solving it. So since the variable is x plus 4 technically divided by 5, in order to get rid of that divide by 5, we're going to go ahead and multiply by 5 on both sides of the inequality. So notice the inequalities here. We're going to multiply by 5 or by the denominator, whatever that denominator is. And remember, you can show your multiplication symbols however you'd like. I'm actually going to switch it over to parentheses. Now on my right side, I can multiply 2 times 5. I know that 2 times 5 is 10. And I know that when I solve my inequalities, I do just bring them down, unless I divide by a negative number, but I didn't. So I'm going to bring down that less than symbol. On my left side, I don't actually have to multiply this 5 in. I can just cross them out. So I'm going to cross out the denominator 5 and the multiplied 5, and you just bring down the x plus 4. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that one more time without as many interruptions, just so you could see it. So if you want to pause to get this down, go ahead and pause because I'm going to delete it right now. Okay, so to solve something like this, we have to multiply by the denominator. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 5. 2 times 5 is 10. Bring down the less than. When I multiply by 5 over here, the denominator and the multiplication cancel each other out because that's like canceling out the division, canceling out the multiplication. So then we just get to write what's on the numerator, which is x plus 4. Now to solve this, I just solve it the same way I was solving my other ones. I have to get rid of that plus 4, so I'm going to subtract 4 on both sides. Bring down what I'm left with, which is just x. I don't have to switch the sign because I didn't divide, is less than 10 minus 4 is 6. And this one I don't have that extra step of having to divide at the end because I already have no coefficient in front of my x. Okay, go ahead and try this next one on your own. So we want to first start by getting rid of that divided by 3. So you want to get rid of that denominator. See how much you can do on your own. So go ahead and press pause on the video. Once you're ready to jump back in, then you can go ahead and press play. Okay, so we're going to solve this problem by, we have to get rid of that denominator. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. On my left side, the 2 3's will cancel each other out. So I'm just going to be left with that numerator of x minus 7. Bring down my inequality, greater than, oops, no equal to sign, just greater than. And then I multiply 4 times 3, which is 12. Now to get x alone here, I have to get rid of that minus 7, so I'm going to add 7 to both sides. The 7's will cancel I'm left with just x is greater than 12 plus 7 is 19. And that would be my answer there.